Melanie Carmona with NEA New Mexico, and we have a very special guest with us today. We have Maya, who's going to talk about Read Across New Mexico and what is her favorite book from the list, right? So welcome, Maya. Today we're going to talk about the story Herizon. You may have heard of it, right? Yeah? Did you look at this book? Did you read it?
Does it have any words?
I know, it doesn't have any words. That was a trick question. But even though it doesn't have any words, what do you think the story was about? Because I think you gave me a hint earlier.
It's about her saving the sheep.
About her saving the sheep? How does she do that? Do you remember?
Yeah.
What happens? What does her grandma give her?
Binoculars.
She looks through the binoculars, right? And then what does she...
And wolves and coyotes are thinking about the sheep.
Yeah, it was kind of...
For lunch.
For lunch? We're going to eat...
the sheep.
For lunch? Oh no, we can't have that. That would be a sad story. So what happens? How does she try to save the sheep?
She starts flying.
Yeah, she starts flying. What does she fly
and
with?
She got higher. She saw some butterflies and horses.
She did see the horses. What do you think she's gonna do? Fly away forever?
She landed on horses.
Yeah, she landed on the horse, and then she could go super fast, right?
And then she dived into water.
Yes, and
she made a tent with her magic banana.
she did make a tent. That was a pretty cool tent. Have you ever been camping? Yeah. Did you like it? You gonna camp on the river next?
I did not camp on any river.
You don't have to camp on the river. Okay.
And then she used it like a magic carpet.
Yeah, she used it like a magic carpet, which is pretty cool. She got to fly twice. And then what happened?
And now she's hiding on one.
Uh-oh.
There's the sheep and there's the coyote.
I know, but she has to save the sheep. How is she going to save them?
What's that?
With that,
Just the coyote off.
she made a slingshot. That's pretty cool. What happens here? Oh no. She has to save the last sheep. Oh. What do you think she's telling her family?
She's telling her phone that you were just sleeping and you were watching the sheep.
Yeah. She's pretty upset. She said, y'all were sleeping and not watching the sheep. That is unacceptable. But she handled it, right? How does she get back home?
Hot air balloon.
Hot air balloon. That's pretty cool. She had a lot of flying in one day.
And then she gave it back to her mother.
Yeah, she went back home. And here she looks a little bit sad about giving back her magical scarf. But what happens here?
She ties it in her hair.
Yeah, she ties it in her hair and she lets her keep it. How do you think that made her feel, getting to keep that?
Happy.
Very happy, right? Okay, and we're at the end of the story. We're at the end
And
of the
there's a
story.
little puppy.
And she has a little puppy. How cool is that? So, if you were to tell all of your friends in New Mexico who are in school to read this book, why would you tell them to read it? What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the coyote.
The coyotes? Why the coyotes?
I just like coyotes.
You like coyotes? You want a pet coyote? No? What do you like about them?
I just like them.
Oh, you just like them. They are pretty cool. pretty feisty. Is there anything else you want to tell people about this book? Okay, thank you so much.